Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ken Carter Gymnasium on the campus of John Hersey High School in Arlington Heights, Illinois, for tonight's contest between the home John Hersey Huskies and the visiting Rolling Meadows Mustangs. It's senior night tonight for the Husky girls, and I'm here tonight with Carter Zagorski. Welcome, Carter.
Good to be here, Ethan. This is my inaugural broadcast, and I am so excited to be in the building for this fantastic conference matchup between the Mustangs and the Huskies. We're looking to see a very competitive, tight game tonight, and hopefully our home Huskies can pull out the win.
I went last time when these two teams played over at Rolling Meadows, and the Huskies were victorious in a big game. I believe this final score was 49-41.
That is true, and at this time, we're going to wait on the national anthem.
And now that the national anthem has concluded, we're ready for basketball. The Huskies here in their all whites, white jerseys, white shorts, white shoes, and white headbands. The Mustangs tonight in all black, black jerseys, black shoes, and black headbands.
For the Mustangs, number 4, senior Melissa Stewart. For your Huskies, number 3, senior Erin McGrath. For the Mustangs, number 5, sophomore Bridget Rala. For your Huskies, number 21, senior Claire Rakowski. For the Mustangs, number 10.
The starters tonight for the Rolling Meadows Mustangs are number 3, Alexa Davis, number 4, Melissa Spiewak, number 5, Bridget Rala, number 10, Lily Griffinstein, and number 20, Susanna Holfield. The starters for your Huskies tonight on senior night are 4 seniors. Number 2, Mason Benjamin. Number 3, Erin McGrath. Number 21, Claire Rogowski. Number 35, Katie McGrath. And the freshman, Mary Kate Fahey.
Assisted by Nick Nichols. The Huskies are coached by Mary Fenley and assisted by Julia Barthel. For the safety of the athletes and yourselves, please refrain from sitting in the front row.
Coaches giving their final thoughts to the teams here before the tip-off.
And like I mentioned earlier, Ethan, this game should be very competitive. If you look at the Rolling Meadows' last 5, they've won 4 of their last 5, only dropping 1 game to Glenbard West by a score of 48-60. But they took recent wins over Buffalo Grove, Elk Grove, and Wheeling, and they're looking to carry that momentum into this tough matchup with the Huskies tonight.
Those are big conference wins there, Carter, and the only loss is out of conference, so at that point, it's not even that big of a deal for the Mustangs.
And we're getting ready for the tip here.
The tip-off between Katie McGrath and Susanna Holfield. The Huskies win the tip. Claire Rogowski passes to Mason Benjamin, who crosses half court. Passes it over to Katie McGrath. Looking for help. And a 5-second violation on the first possession for the Huskies. The Mustangs will get the ball.
And that's some tight defense here, Ethan. And we're looking here at the Rolling Meadows offense, trying to pull out some quick, fast-paced offense here. They score the most points in any quarter here in the first, and we'll see if they can build on that past success.
Alexa Davis bringing the ball up, passing to the corner to Spiewak. Back out to Lily Griffinstein. Bridget Rolla now bringing it around. Griffinstein, the three, off the front of the rim. Rebound at Susanna Holfield. Mustangs driving around, passing around. Forced to pull it back out. It's Spiewak now, driving in, laying it in, no good. Rebound.
Great defense on that shot there, Ethan. And we have a jump ball.
Huskies got the tip, Mustangs get the first jump ball. The inbounds pass to Holfeld in the corner. Griffinstein has the ball now, dribbling it around. It's Rolla now, back to Griffinstein. Over to Spiewak. Back to Davis. Griffinstein. Screen set by Holfield. Griffinstein to Spiewak. Inside the Holfield, who lays it in. And a foul on the Huskies in the paint.
And let's see if Holfield can get the first bucket of the game here. Meadows averaging 18 points in the first quarter throughout the season. And let's see if she can build on this with the first one falling.
The second one is good as well, and a full court pressure applied now by the Mustangs.
Interesting to see this early full court press here by Coach Ryan Krikorsky. He's looking to, again, build up this fast-paced offense here by the Rolling Meadows Mustangs.
McGrath tries to drive in, ball tipped away by the Mustangs. Huskies will get the ball underneath. It's Rogowski inbounding it. Finds Mary-Kate Fahey. Passes to the corner to Rogowski, the three. Off the back of the rim, no. Rebound to Spiewak, driving up the court. Finding Griffinstein, who can't get the layup to fall. Rebound.
Quite a good pass there, Ethan. She had the open woman, and she went for it. Too bad it couldn't fall.
Rogowski has the ball now, finds Erin McGrath. The ball is tipped off of Bridget Rolla, and the Huskies will retain possession. Rogowski finds Benjamin, who has the ball at the top, pressure provided by Griffinstein. Rogowski gets the ball again. Dribbling around the three-point line, finds McGrath. Very good defense here being played by the Mustangs, Carter.
Yes, they're in this some tight man-to-man defense right here. Oh, and the pass, not quite able to finish there, but rebound by number 4, Melissa Spiewak.
Griffinstein now, Holfield, Davis, Spiewak. Holfield hands it off to Davis. Passes to the top to Griffinstein. Driving on McGrath and denied. Fahey now.
McGrath there with some very impressive defense, stopping that bucket from going down and the Huskies entering into a 4-0 hole.
Mason Benjamin can't get the lay-in to go, and here comes Davis driving in, passing.
Finds her and tips it back out and not able to fall.
Here's Fahey now. Nice dribble move there. Crossing the H in the center of the court. Almost loses the ball.
And number 3, Alexa Davis from the Mustangs, is all over MK Fahey tonight. Let's see if she can work her magic and get around her.
Good move by Katie McGrath, but she can't finish.
Oh, unable. Some lockdown defense so far by the Mustangs.
Claire Rogowski is now tying her shoe. Play will be stopped until she finishes, and now we're good to start the game again. Spiewak will bring the ball up. Finding Davis, who drives on Fahey.
Draws the foul, and it goes down.
The foul is called on the ground. The basket will not count as the foul was on the ground. The Mustangs will get the ball underneath the basket. Davis will inbound the ball, trying to find Holyfield, can't do it. Here comes Erin McGrath now. Pulling it back out. Driving in, and a foul on the ground on the Mustangs. The Huskies will get the ball underneath.
Calls on the Mustangs, number 20, Susanna Holyfield. Her first.
McGrath will get the ball in, trying to find Fahey. There's a touch, so it's not over and back. Fahey now. Tight defense provided by Davis. Benjamin. Erin McGrath. Inside to Katie McGrath. Can't get the lay-in to fall. Good defense by Holyfield.
Well, the Huskies keep going at it time and time again, and hopefully, I mean, we've got to count on a bucket to fall pretty soon, Ethan. Isn't that right?
Almost halfway through the first quarter, and the score is 2-0.
Strikingly different from the last game that we watched, the JV game between the Huskies and the Mustangs, and Huskies got out to an early start there, at one point leading 24-7, and ultimately came up with the win.
Mason Benjamin steals the ball away from Holyfield, now bringing the ball up the court. Mason Benjamin working on Spiewak. Now Fahey, guarded by Davis. Fahey in the last game against the Mustangs hit a tremendous amount of threes, but she has not been able to even take one yet. A missed lay-in by Katie McGrath, and the Mustangs have the ball. It's Rala driving in and laying in.
And we'll see here if the Huskies can tighten up their zone defense or even go man-to-man, as they need to get some, not able to fall, as they need to get their lane defense in order here.
Here comes Davis now up the court. Ooh, a nice move, but the lay-in will not fall.
Almost adding to their points in the paint there.
Here's Fahey. A steal by Griffinstein, who tries to save it and puts it right back into the hands of Benjamin, who will drive in.
Well, that was a tremendous effort by number 10, Lily Greifenstein.
A steal by Davis, and she lays it in. And a timeout by Coach Barthel of the Huskies of the Mustangs have jumped out to a 6-0 lead.
And we're going to see here that Coach Mary Fenley and Coach Barthel in the huddle over there is going to try and tell them to lock up that defense in the lane. That points in the paint so far, 4 of their 6 points. And let's see if we can get some offense going as well.
Nothing working so far for the Huskies here. Still held without a point. Mustangs playing very good and very tight defense on them. And the Huskies are going to have to find a way to solve this, Carter.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're seeing this lockdown defense here by the Rolling Meadows Mustangs. And maybe they're going to try and open up some separation for some mid-range or three-point jumpers, but so far nothing's been able to fall in the paint.
They have to get a shot to fall sometime soon.
East side of the gym, we'd like to congratulate our varsity cheer team on qualifying for the IHSA State Finals. The girls will take the floor at 5-10.
The Husky cheerleaders are here tonight as they have qualified for the state finals this weekend. Congratulations to the Husky cheer team. Good luck at state.
Are definitely in order. It's been a tremendous season for them. And it's also been a tremendous season for our seniors tonight. This is senior night basketball here with the Mustangs and the Huskies, and hopefully the Huskies, the home Huskies, can pull out a win.
The Huskies here with their 4 seniors on the floor, though, need to start finding some movement and finding some points. Here comes Fahey. Benjamin now stops, pops, can't get it to go. Rebound to McGrath. Finds Fahey the 3, can't get it to go. Rebound to Rogowski, who lays it in.
Well, you want to talk about second chance points. How about third chance points there, Ethan, huh? Getting the Huskies on the board.
About time the Huskies scored a basket. And here's Spiewak now. Finding Rala to Davis. And Spiewak cuts through the Husky defense and lays it in.
And that's another wonderful move to cut through the defense and lay it in. Again, we're going to see, yes, there it is. We're seeing some movement down on the bench, and hopefully we'll see some lockdown defense down there.
A turnover by the Mustangs, and here comes Erin McGrath. She can't get it to fall. Rebound to the Mustangs. And here they come, Spiewak up the floor. Now Rala. Over to Anderson. Back up top to Spiewak, who finds Rala. Trying to drive on McGrath. Good defense by the Huskies, and a block.
That was a great defensive possession there.
But they throw it away.
Mustangs, number 10, Lily Riefenstein, and number 32, Haley Hausler.
Emily Collins and Janine Boyan will come in for the Huskies.
And number 42, Janine Boyan.
And number 10, Lily Greifenstein for the Rolling Meadows Mustangs entering the game. She's leading the team in points per game in scoring, 13.2. And let's see if she can continue her successes here, or if the Huskies can lock her down.
She is a stud, Carter. She does put up a lot of points. She will also play close to the whole game, I assume.
I would imagine that is a correct assumption. And let's see what's moving on here.
The Mustangs will have the ball. Inbounded by Anderson, who finds Spiewak.
Collins playing some press defense there.
Mason Benjamin defending Rala, and a jump ball.
Jump ball possession arrow to the Huskies.
The Huskies will get the ball underneath off the jump, and pressure will immediately be applied by the Mustangs. McGrath gets the ball. Dribbling around, two defenders on her, looking for help. Finds Emily Collins, who takes the lay-in and puts it right through.
Well, that was a great floater there. She recognized that there was one defender left to beat. She threw it up right over. What a wonderful offensive possession.
Maybe Emily Collins can be the spark the Huskies need here to get some points. Griffinstein now with the ball. Finding Rala, who can't get it to go again. McGrath.
And let's see if our state-qualified cheerleaders can get something to cheer about here, as the Huskies could go on a run, and they do. Get the bucket to fall.
Bank is open late tonight, Carter.
That's
a three
right,
from Mary-Kate Fahey.
33, Mary-Kate Fahey.
And that was some great execution there. She had the defense all over her. But if you want to talk about separation, which I imagine Coach Fenley was talking about in that huddle during that last timeout, we're seeing another three there. Oh, two.
They have changed the basket from 3 to 2. It's Davis dribbling around with 4 seconds, driving, denied. And a foul on the Huskies, and Callie Hosler will shoot free throws with 1.1 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Well, you saw some great defense there by MK Fahey, but the referee saw something after that initial block, and let's see if she can knock down some free throws here with 1 second left.
The foul went on Mason Benjamin. Both free throws fall for Hosler. The Huskies throwing the ball up the court. Collins shoots it, and it goes in.
It. Oh my goodness, Ethan.
Excitement to end the first quarter here as the Huskies have pulled within 2.
Are we seeing some senior night magic here, Ethan? I mean, wow. What a way to close out the first quarter.
Off the backboard, around the rim, and down. A nice shot by Emily Collins.
And we're seeing here that the Hersey Huskies have definitely limited this high-powered Mustangs offense to less than their 18 points per game average in the first quarter.
They have changed the Emily Collins shot at the buzzer from 2 to 3. So the Huskies now within 1, and Emily Collins with more than half the points this quarter after coming off the bench.
And you mentioned it earlier, she's definitely the spark that this team needed. And let's see if some state qualified cheerleaders can get some more action in throughout the rest of the game in a very tightly contested matchup.
If you were the Mustangs, Carter, what do you come out in the second quarter and do?
Well, you know, they had a lot of initial success, and that's definitely something they can build off of. And I'm imagining that their coach is definitely telling their girls right now, just stay the course. You know, the Huskies were able to scrap together a few points there at the end to make it close and exciting. But I would imagine that their game plan is he's going to be sticking to the same thing.
I agree, Carter. And the Mustangs will get the ball to start the second quarter. 8 minutes on the clock, and we're ready to go. Hosler will inbound the ball. Mustangs have the ball. It's Hosler. Over to Davis. In the corner to Spiewak, who steps out of bounds, a turnover to start the second quarter.
Well, we saw a few similar plays to that last one there in the NBA recently over the last month or so. It's causing some controversy at the end of the game, but it's just almost inexcusable to step out of bounds in this tight of a game.
The referees definitely got this call right. McGrath now has the ball. Finding Fahey. Driving. Can't get the shot to go. Here comes Davis. Up the floor. Finding Spiewak. The three. No good. Now Davis, the three. Yes, sir.
And she gets the separation she needed to knock down that three. And the key to the game here is going to be points in the paint and three-point shots. You know, a lot of coaches these days are moving away from the mid-range jumper. And we're definitely seeing that being shown here by both coaches in this tightly contested game.
Rogowski can't get the shot to go. Rebound to the Mustangs. Here's Davis finding Spiewak. Wide open in the lane. Misses the lay-in. McGrath trying to get the rebound. Can't do it. Griffinstein, the three. Yes, sir.
And this is the high-powered offense that we were missing in the first quarter by the Mustangs here. Let's see if the Husky defense can tighten it up a little bit. And the foul on the floor. Number 5, Bridget Ralla.
If anything, that foul just slows down Rolling Meadows' pace. They've come out in the second quarter blistering hot from the three-point line.
You're absolutely correct here, Ethan. That's a change of momentum potentially here for the Huskies as they get a chance to regroup, recollect their thoughts, and go into an awesome offensive possession here.
McGrath comes out, and Benjamin comes in. Fahey now. Good crossover there. Finding Benjamin, who steps around, then pulls from three. Air ball.
Not quite. And while she did catch the ball and throw it back in to make it look like a save, she ultimately stepped out of bounds before she jumped, and the ref saw that, and that was the correct call.
And the Mustangs will get the ball up by 7. It's Davis inside to Holyfield. A late foul called there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. Those could be a crucial 2 points here if she knocks down both free throws.
Foul goes on Boyan, and Holyfield will shoot.
Meadows shooting 2, number 20, Susanna Halafield.
Not quite able to knock down the first. Bounces off the rim.
Number 35, Katie McGrath.
And number 35, Katie McGrath, coming in for number 42, Janine Boyan. Knocks down the second. And right now we're looking at a 7-0 run for the Mustangs entering the second quarter.
Rogowski throwing it up, getting it to Collins, who drives, can't get the lay-in to fall. Halafield with the rebound.
And foul called as the Huskies had some tight defense there. And he's calling it on number 2. No, correction. 21.
21 for Hersey, Claire Rogowski, her first.
Claire Rogowski.
And Bridget Ralla went charging through the defense there to get the foul called.
And we're seeing the Mustangs playing scrappy tonight, Ethan. This is the type of high-powered offense again. I'll say it again. That's the term of the night. High-powered offense by these Mustangs. And the Huskies have got to slow it down. Lining up for the second. Does knock it down. That is an 8-0 run for the Mustangs.
Benjamin to McGrath. And a carry is called on Aaron McGrath, a turnover. 2 minutes ago, it was a 1-point game. Now it's a 9-point game. Huskies need to turn this around.
And it'll be interesting what's going on. Oh, and a steal on the court.
It's Mason Benjamin who
knocks
gets
it down.
Number 2, Mason Benjamin.
Davis now slowing it down. Finding Griffenstein. Over to Hollefeld. Davis, the 3. Gets nothing on that one.
See, it'll be interesting because that's straying from the Mustangs' game plan a little bit. We saw them going inside the paint, nice and close to the rim. And that last 3, the coach has not got to be happy with that. It's all about shot selection at this point.
Fahey turns it over in the paint, and here comes Spiewak. Dribbles it off her leg. A turnover, and here comes Mary-Kate Fahey. Finding McGrath. Spinning in the paint, fading, not getting it to go. But the rebound goes to Collins, who dribbles it off her foot and out of bounds.
Well, even though the possession was lost there, it is a promising and encouraging sign that this Husky offense is regaining its former strength. Hopefully we'll see another resurgence here at the end of the second quarter, similar to what we saw in the first.
Anderson comes in for the Mustangs, Rogowski in for the Huskies. It's Davis. Over to Ralla, into Anderson, trying to find Holyfield, can't do it. Here comes Mason Benjamin with the steal. Getting it forward, off the foot of Griffenstein, and out of bounds. Huskies ball underneath.
Well, the Mustangs almost executed that last possession perfectly. She saw the open man, went for the pass, but our defense just wouldn't let it happen. Got the steal and transitioned down the court. And we're seeing a inbounds play under the basket. Unable to knock it down, however. That's number 3, Aaron McGrath.
McGrath can't hit. She denies the shot, but the ball goes off of McGrath last, and the Mustangs will get the ball underneath. Toss-up call there.
I agree there, Ethan. I mean, I'm going to give the ref the benefit of the doubt there. He had the better vantage point than we did, but let's see what the Mustangs can do with this possession now.
Davis now. Finding Griffenstein, who dribbles it around. Ralla. Griffenstein, 3. Rebound by Benjamin. Coming up the floor, finding Fahey, finding Collins, who can't get the lay-in to go.
Oh, and the give and go almost worked there, Ethan. Let's see what the Mustangs can do with this possession now.
Ralla spinning, denied by Aaron McGrath. Holyfield, Davis, Griffenstein, baseline, and a blocking foul called on Claire Rogowski.
Well, we're seeing some perfectly executed rebounding here early by the Mustangs. They had another second chance opportunity there and drew the foul to keep the possession alive.
Checking in the deep for the Mustangs, number 4, Melissa Spiewak.
Spiewak comes in for Anderson for the Mustangs, and Janine Boyan comes in for Rogowski, who picked up another foul there.
Yes, and at this point, we're not too worried about foul trouble here for either the Huskies or the Mustangs, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out through the rest of the half and the game.
Ralla to Davis, back to Ralla, thought about the 3, brought it down, Griffenstein in the paint, airballs the layup, gets it out to Holyfield, over to Ralla, back to Griffenstein, over to Davis. The 3, in and out, rebound to Boyan.
Well, we're seeing some scrappy basketball here early by the Mustangs. There's been numerous saves of balls nearly going out of bounds, and they're definitely grinding and pounding inside the paint.
Here's McGrath, Benjamin, Mary-Kate Fahey now. Trying to find someone to get the ball to, and she can't do it. This Mustangs defense just too tight right now.
And with three minutes to go in the quarter, let's see if the Huskies will put on the gas here and start to kick up the pace a little bit.
Good.
Fighting for it.
Good play from Collins, but a foul is eventually called on her. And the Mustangs will get the ball.
And that fan section went a little rowdy there. It's interesting to see the purple and gold jumpsuits that they got going on. Glad to see some sportsmanship and everyone out here encouraging their own team.
Those jumpsuits are something, Carter. Very vintage.
Yes, you know, nothing but positive things can only be said of those, Ethan.
Holyfield will inbound the ball. Davis now. Finding Spiewak. Griffinstein. Inside to Rala. Driving around. A foul called on Mason Benjamin, and she cannot believe it, Carter.
No, and I mentioned that we're not too worried about foul trouble earlier, but she just picked up her second there. And with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, it'll be interesting to see how Friendly manages her players' minutes. She does knock down the first.
The Mustangs so far tonight have been very good from the line.
Yes, and she knocks down her second there. It's been very impressive to watch. And the Huskies now down 9. We did see a late quarter resurgence in the first. Let's see if the Huskies can throw together some senior night magic a second time.
It started right about at this time in the first quarter, so let's see what happens. McGrath to Benjamin, can't get it to go, gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and one.
It falls. We're seeing second chance points being one of the storylines of this game. The rebounding to throw it back up for another opportunity, and she gets a third chance at the line here.
Foul number 20 for Rolling Meadows.
The foul goes on Holyfield.
At the line for the Huskies to attempt the three-point play, number 2, Mason Benjamin.
And this and one could change the momentum in this end of the quarter here.
Here comes Rala up the floor, trying to lay it in, and she does. Impressive acrobatic lay in there.
Yes, the athleticism there was impressive, and we've seen a lot of Mustangs layups so far in the first half of this game, flying and weaving in and out of Husky defenders. And let's see if we can get it back here with our own offensive possession.
Benjamin now, screen set by Boyan, and the roll. Here's Boyan. Lay in, rolls around the rim and out. Rebound to Davis. Here she comes up the floor. Rala thought about the three. Now she takes the drive. Holyfield, the three. The center, and knocking down the three.
And you know, she's only averaging 5 points, but she's also averaging 5 rebounds a game this year.
An offensive foul called on McGrath. Momentum swing goes the way of the Mustangs.
And now the Mustangs have nearly doubled the Huskies' score after a tight 10-9 lead early in the first quarter.
The Huskies have only scored 4 points this quarter. That needs to change.
Yes, and both coaches now talking to their players, firmly trying to encourage some and whip up some magic here. You know, this game is not over, Ethan. There's plenty of time to go. And we saw that they were able to create a game plan towards the end of the first quarter to bring it back within 1 point. So nothing has been lost yet.
Definitely not, Carter, but they do need to turn it around here right now.
Yes,
because
now is the time.
if this lead for the Mustangs gets any bigger, it could be trouble. We have 1.5 minutes left here in the first half.
And if you look back at Hersey's last 5 games, they were able to only squeak out the win in 2 of them, falling 2 and 3 in the last 5. And they're hoping to start off this week here and this one of the last few weeks of conference play with a solid win over the strong Mustangs team.
The Mustangs 5 will be Rala, Davis, Spiewak, Griffinstein, and Holyfield. The Huskies 5 will be Collins, Fahey, Benjamin, Boyan, and Aaron McGrath. Here come the Mustangs. It's Spiewak driving on Collins, trying to find a way in. Forced to pass it out to Davis, who gets it to Ralla, to Griffinstein. Griffinstein driving. The ball will stay with the Mustangs.
And they've tightened up their defense there in this last possession. Got the deflection off the shot. Unfortunately, it hit the line before we were able to regain possession.
Hosler in for the Mustangs and Katie McGrath in for the Huskies. A timeout called as they could not get the ball in there by Rolling Meadows head coach Ryan Krkorski.
Yeah, it's interesting. The inbounder did have a girl open way down the court past the H, but Krkorski deciding that it was best to signal for a timeout and regroup and hopefully lead his Mustangs back to a bucket here.
Probably drawing up an inbounds play here is the Meadows coach. And Fenley must be relaying tight defense here to the Huskies. They really cannot give up another basket here to the Mustangs.
Lockdown defense, that has to be the message here. And we saw Coach Ryan Krkorski urging his girls early on for the same thing. Well, let's see if the Huskies can step up here and end this first half with a minute to go without any more points.
Davis inbounds to Spiewak, finds Ralla.
And tight coverage here played by the Huskies. They're all up in each other. Not refusing to let anyone drive to the basket.
Davis, Ralla, back to Davis, over to Griffinstein with under a minute to go. Here comes Spiewak looking for help, finds it through Hosler. Over to Ralla. Davis thought about the three, not going to take it. Here's Hosler now. Over to Griffinstein. There's the three-point shot, and it doesn't go. Rebound to Benjamin, finding Aaron McGrath. Thought about the drive, pulls it back out.
You know, that was a smart decision there to not go up for the shot and instead turn back. She only had a 2-on-3 transition there. Good decision making there by number 3, Aaron McGrath.
Mason Benjamin will inbound the ball here for the Huskies. They set up in a box. Screen set. Aaron McGrath gets the ball. 30 seconds to go. Driving off the bottom of the rim. She can't get it to go. Been an ice-cold first half for Aaron McGrath.
Yes, but we have seen the Husky offense coming this close, Ethan, to knocking down a bunch of buckets. Wouldn't surprise me if the second half is a completely different story and the Husky offense is revitalized.
Meadows content here with holding for the last shot with 5. Griffinstein dribbling around with 2, with 1. Cannot get the lay-in to go. And the shot by Benjamin will not be in time.
Well, number 10, Lily Griffinstein, urging the referees for a foul call there, but clearly none was called.
The teams are coming off the court, hydrating here a little bit. High fives all around. The Huskies will retreat to the locker room. The Mustangs will retreat to their locker room. A little bit of halftime planning here needed by each coaches. And we are going to go down to the court here in a second to hear from the Rolling Meadows head coach, Ryan Krkorski.
Not 2, but 3.
All right, so the girls came out with a really high energy and a really strong defense that led to a couple of steals. What do you think they can do to go into the second half with that same intensity with Hersey looking for that comeback?
I just think it's about, right now, it's about 16 minutes, and just got to give every second, have that level of intensity.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, back to you, Ethan.
All right, and we're back here. Thank you to Rolling Meadows head coach Ryan Krkorski, and good luck to the Mustangs and Huskies in the second half. Carter, what would you like to see from both teams here in the second half?
Well, we saw the scrappy play of the Mustangs early on in this first half. They were driving to the paint and getting buckets in bunches. We also saw they were hustling for a bunch of loose balls, those 50-50 balls that coaches always talk about. And we're going to hopefully see Miss Fenley encouraging our players to get after those balls and maintain possession.
What is your prediction here for the second half?
Well, it is senior night, and we've seen some senior night magic early on with the last second bucket by Emily Collins, the junior. So hopefully, and I hopefully predict that the Huskies will come back from this game with some senior night magic, and they will be able to finish out the win.
We're going to send you to a commercial from one of our sponsors, Burger Baron. We'll see you for the second half.
For nearly 4 decades, Burger Baron has provided delicious food and a great atmosphere to residents of the area. We invite you to come out and try their famous burgers, gyros, Italian beef, hot dogs, and much more. For the best burgers, come and visit Burger Baron, located on Gulf Road near Arlington Heights Road. For more information, visit www.burgerbaronchicago.com.
Welcome back here to the Ken Carter Gymnasium. As we're almost ready to start the second half, we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. I'm here with Carter Zagorski to start the second half.
Hi, Ethan. It's great to be here for my first ever appearance here on HTV News. We're looking for a resurgence here by the Hersey Huskies as they're down early by the end of the first half. We saw a wonderful performance by Susanna Hollifield of the Mustangs, pulling down 6 points, second most on the team, just behind Bridget Rolla with 7.
We're looking for the Huskies to come out strong here to start the second half, and for the Mustangs to keep doing what they're doing. And
yes, we've seen their scrappy play be working so far, and we're hoping that the Huskies can resurge here and find some momentum to open up the second half.
All right, we're going to go back to the action now. The Mustangs take the floor. It looks like their same starting 5 is out there. It's Davis, Spiewak, Rolla, Griffinstein, and Hollefeld, and it's also the same starting 5 for the Huskies, with Mary Kate Fahey, Claire Rogowski, Katie McGrath, Erin McGrath, and Mason Benjamin. Katie McGrath gets the loose ball, gets her own rebound, and an offensive foul called on Erin McGrath.
Yeah, interesting call, but the Huskies did have a lot of chances there. We saw multiple rebounds and just unable to put it in the bucket. And the inbound there to number 3, Alexa Davis.
Here's Spiewak, Griffinstein. Davis driving, cutting through, but Hollifield gets the rebound. But it's blocked by McGrath. Hollifield fouls McGrath.
And nearly swiped away there, but the ref blew the whistle. Saw a reach-in foul there, personal foul. And the Huskies are going to get the ball back.
Visiting Mustangs fans not happy with the call, Carter.
Yeah, and it must be the jumpsuits or something. I don't know how else to explain it. But really jeering at the ref there, inexplicably.
Rogowski will inbound the ball.
And she stepped on the line. And the ref's conferring now. Let's see what comes out of this.
Delay of game, I believe, on the Mustangs. What does that mean?
You know, this is interesting now. This could be a technical foul. We'll see what's going on there with Coach Ryan Kurkowski.
Oh, I understand. It looks like she crossed the line, the end line, when she was guarding the inbounds pass.
Ah, interesting. So
Which
the foot was on the line, but it was not on the Hersey inbounder, but the Mustangs player.
I believe it's just a warning. The second one might be a technical. Rogowski now driving in and can't get it to go down. Good hustle from McGrath.
That is the 50-50 play I mentioned earlier. It's wonderful. It is beautiful to see Coach Friendly encouraging our players to go after the ball like that. Forcing a jump ball and a change of possession. Well, even though that was a lost possession there, you got to love the heart that the Huskies were showing there.
Exactly. Erin McGrath diving on the floor, going for the ball. Wonderful to see.
And this is exactly why this game is not over. Even though the deficit is 12, we're in double digits, this game is by no means over yet.
Rebound to Katie McGrath off the missed layup by the Mustangs. Davis tips the ball out of bounds, trying to prevent McGrath from getting it to the point guard, Mary Kate Fahey.
And she nearly threw it away there, but that lockdown defense by the Mustangs just not able to retain possession for a turnover.
Rogowski gets it to McGrath. Getting away from the Mustang defenders. Ball tipped, finding Katie McGrath, who lays it in.
And that is the momentum starter that we needed. That is the ignition on the car, and hopefully this car can keep rolling.
Here's Davis finding Griffinstein. Over to Spiewak. In the corner to Hosler. Hosler dribbling around, looking for help. Finds it through Rolla, who drives in. Can't get the lay-in to fall. Rebounding machine this period, Katie McGrath.
And we saw the majority of the Mustangs' points in the first half coming inside the paint, only knocking down 3 outside threes. So we'll see if they stick to that game plan here.
Benjamin can't get it to go, gets her own rebound and puts it through.
And second chance points, I'll say it again, crucial to the success of any.
A defensive mishap by the Huskies, and Bridget Rolla easily lays it in all alone.
Well, this is quite a fast-paced game now and entering the half. Oh, let's see if there's a foul call here, and there is.
Should be a blocking foul on Spiewak.
I concur. Mary Kate Fahey drawing the foul there.
Her first. Checking the game for the Huskies, number 15, Emily Collins.
Emily Collins comes in for Claire Rogowski.
And Collins is one of the storylines of the night tonight, Ethan. She was the spark plug in the first half. In the first quarter, actually, getting that last-second buzzer beater to fall. McGrath shooting from inside the three-point arc, just missing.
Good rebound.
But the 50-50 balls again, recovered by Emily Collins. Again, the spark plug of the Husky offense right now.
The Huskies will get that one because the Mustangs got the jump ball just over a minute ago. Mason Benjamin will inbound the ball. Emily Collins in the paint. Fouled going up. The shot does not go, but she will shoot 2 from the line.
Well, even though it wasn't able to fall, what a beautiful pass there on the inbounds play.
Her second, King's third. At the line for the Huskies, shooting 2.
Collins this year shooting 71% from the free throw line.
She's very reliable here. That's a wonderful percentage for a junior. And she knocks down the first.
Emily Collins next year we can assume will be part of the core of this team.
Yes, and we heard in our previous broadcast with Elk Grove, Mr. Ho talking about the future of Husky basketball with the feeder girls off on the sideline. Future of Hersey basketball next year might just be Emily Collins.
She knocks down both from the line, and here come the Mustangs. Hosler to Rala to Spiewak in the corner, driving on Collins. Access was denied. Now Griffinstein running around, finding Davis. Over to Hosler. Outside to Rala. Drives, find Hosler. Cannot get the lay-in to go. And here comes Mason Benjamin.
And we're seeing the Husky defense really locking down the Mustangs early on. What a great rebound inside, preventing the Mustangs from any second chance points.
Here's Mary Kate now.
And unable to see the roll there by Erin McGrath, but still. Oh, and the floater. Knocks it down, Emily Collins.
Beautiful lay-in by Emily Collins. She's come on and scored 4 points here for the Huskies.
What a floater. What an impressive game from Emily Collins that we've seen this thus far.
And we can only assume the timeout here called by Ryan Krikorsky is to find out how to deal with Emily Collins.
And the Huskies have cut the deficit from 12 to 6 since the start of the third quarter. And Krikowski looking frustrated, looking at his girls over there. And the jumpsuit fans section over there stunned.
Ryan Krikorsky drawing up a play for his team while Fenley is relaying instructions to the Huskies here on what they should do as soon as they come out of this timeout.
And if you missed it earlier, congratulations to the Hersey Husky cheerleaders qualifying for state last weekend. And let's see, I think that they're going to get some more cheering to do in this next second half of basketball. What do you think, Ethan?
We can only hope, Carter. We hope the excitement builds as the score gets closer and we get a good finish. The 5 for the Huskies, McGrath, Benjamin, Fahey, and Collins. The 5 for the Mustangs, Spiewak, Rala, Griffinstein, Davis, and Hosler. Here's Rala, finding Spiewak, Davis, Roller. Looking for help, finds it through Griffinstein. Over to Spiewak. Rala flashing through the lane, not found by Spiewak. Spiewak takes it herself, and access is denied. But the ball ricochets off the feet of the Huskies and will stay with the Mustangs.
Still, this preventing defense right here by the Hersey Huskies, really intimidating the Mustangs early on in the second half. And hopefully they can stick to their guns here as the inbounds comes in.
Rogowski checked in for the Huskies there. Davis feeling the 3, and it's not going to go, but the rebound to Spiewak, who throws it over half court, and that is over and back, Carter.
And the Mustangs head coach has got to be a little frustrated right now, not sticking to the game plan we saw in the first half of grinding and pounding inside low into the paint. We saw a 3 chucked up there and an errant pass, and he's going to try and regain control of his girls here.
That turnover right there, easily preventable. That is what the frustration for Ryan Krikorsky must be.
Yes, definitely. And here we see the upbeat Hersey offense here.
Here's Fahey now. Behind the back dribble. A foul called on Davis on the reach.
And the Huskies are on an 8-2 run since the end of the first half. Let's see if we can get another bucket or two to fall here before the end of the third.
This is some of the momentum that the Huskies really needed here to start the second half. McGrath finding her sister Katie, who lays it in. Don't blink now, Carter. Huskies within 4.
And here we are, this lockdown defense here. This is what's necessary if the Huskies are going to keep up the momentum. Oh, and you see the beautiful block there. And nearly recovered by the
Effort by
Huskies.
Griffenstein, who gets a jump ball, and the Mustangs will get it. Third jump ball of the period.
Well, the effort here by both teams is awe-striking. The 50-50 balls, as I alluded to a few times in the second half, just being covered by both teams there as the Mustangs inbound.
Mason Benjamin comes in for Claire Rogowski for the Huskies. Here's Griffenstein. Now Rala. Over to Spiewak. Screen set by Howfield. Spiewak the 3. No good. Rebound by Mary Kate Fahey, who wrestles it away. Here she comes up the floor. Finding Katie McGrath. Erin McGrath. Back to Katie McGrath. In the post. Laying it in.
And we're seeing Coach Fenley and Coach Bartel taking a page out of Coach Ryan Krakowski's playbook. They are pounding the ball inside and finally getting some successes to close the gap within 2.
Points in this third quarter flowing through Emily Collins and Katie McGrath.
And a wonderful run here that the Huskies are on. Let's see if we can claim a lead here, huh, Ethan? Oh. And some confusion here with the referees.
They originally called it offensive. But now they call it a block. Very, very interesting call there. I thought she was set, Carter.
Well, you want to talk about 50-50 balls for hustling. What about 50-50 calls? That call could have gone either way. Let's see if the Huskies can build with some momentum on that call.
Griffenstein will shoot free throws.
Misses the first, in and out of the rim.
Mallory Brand comes in for the Mustangs, and Rogowski comes in for Emily Collins. Emily Collins, big news here. Emily Collins is limping, and she looks a little bit injured and shaken up, meeting with trainer Ari Hirschfeld.
And she's been one of the main storylines of this game. I'll say it again, one of the spark plugs due to that last second, first quarter buzzer beater. And we'll see, some wonderful dribble moves here early.
Mason Benjamin now dribbling around, finding Katie McGrath, who can't get it to go. Rebound, Mason Benjamin can't get it to go. Rebound to Davis for the Mustangs. Here she comes, sprinting up the floor, finding Griffenstein, who can't get it to go. Rebound to McGrath, end-to-end basketball here.
And we're seeing some anger here from number 10, Lily Griffenstein, swiping at the ball, unable to come up with it, and that's a reach-in.
End-to-end basketball there, Carter. That's excitement.
And she's got to be frustrated after that no call at the end of the first half, and now getting a call on her own. And we're seeing a similar call that we saw earlier in the third quarter here.
The Huskies stepped on the line inbounding. It was Claire Rogowski, a turnover. Emily Collins seems to be working out an ankle, shaking out her legs over there behind the Huskies bench.
Well, the message there was deny, 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 and the Huskies come up with the possession.
Mason Benjamin now finding Mary Kate Fahey. Defense by Davis. Fahey spinning around, finding Benjamin. Inside to Rogowski, defense by Griffenstein. Rogowski can't get the layup to go. Not even very close there with the layup.
Yeah, she had MK Fahey trailing on the right side of the lane there. Unfortunate that she wasn't able to pick that up for an easy 2, but we'll see the Husky offense come back without an issue as we see Emily Collins, one of the main storylines of the game, ready to check back into the game.
The last time these two teams played, Mary Kate Fahey went 5 for 5 from 3. She's only shot 1 tonight.
What an impressive player overall, but what an even more impressive freshman starting for the Hersey Huskies team.
They could need her to step up here, though, even more than she has so far. Griffenstein now has the ball. Finding Rala. Over to Spiewak.
And with a game this close, this possession could be the momentum changer. Let's see if this lockdown Hersey Huskies defense that we've seen in the second half can prevent a bucket.
Spiewak now dribbling around. Finding Rala inside, trying to find Griffinstein. It goes off her hand, a turnover.
And number 5, Bridget Rala, a sophomore, throwing it away there. She had the man, but the bounce pass just wasn't able to end up in the hands of the Mustangs.
These 4 Meadows ball handlers have played most of the entire game. Rala, Spiewak, Davis, and Griffinstein have played almost the entire game. Could fatigue be a factor?
I was just going to ask, fatigue, Ethan, I think could be a huge factor right now. We're seeing a little frustration and some fatigue here from the Mustangs.
There's a 3 from Fahey, who is
Foul
fouled.
is called. And this could be the momentum shifter. The Hersey Huskies offense here on a tremendous run after the 25-13 deficit that they found themselves in at the end of the first half. Now only trailing by 2.
Fahey shooting 67% from the free throw line this
Let's
year.
see if the super freshman here can come up with 3 huge points on the senior night. Oh, and in the face of adversity from the jeering Rolling Meadows fan section, she knocks it down coolly and calmly. No hesitation there. Nothing but net. And a timeout by the Mustangs.
Could the timeout here be to ice the shooter, Mary Kay?
Of course. And, you know, it could be a little sportsmanship there. He noticed that his fan section was going a little rowdy, and it could be not only just that, but also a chance to recollect their thoughts as the Mustangs look to end this amazing run that the Hersey Huskies are on right now.
What was the score at the half, Carter?
It was 25-13, Ethan. And do you know what score we find ourselves at right now?
The Huskies have come all the way back to make it a 1-point game. The Mustangs have only scored 2 points this quarter.
And we've seen a plethora of free throws from the Huskies here after only missing their only free throw in the first half, going 0 for 1. And it'll be interesting to see if the strategy keeps working by the Huskies to drive in and draw fouls and even pop a 3, as we saw MK Fahey do, and get the foul call.
And lockdown defense has been played this quarter for sure. The high-powered Mustangs offense has been stifled by the defense here.
What a reversal of tales, as we saw nearly the exact same game plan that the Huskies had in the second half from the Mustangs in the first half. And we're seeing the Huskies are now trying to grind and pound inside the paint, and that's part of the reason why they cut it down to within 1.
But we know how fast these teams could score if the end of the first quarter is any testament to that.
Of course, without a doubt. And the fan section of the Mustangs is now up on their feet.
You know, those jump shoots just crack me up.
You know, it's I don't understand, Ethan, you know, but you got to do what you got to do if you're the Mustangs. And, you know, I like to think that our cheerleaders who qualified for state are beating them in the contest of fans right now.
Mary Kate Fahey ties the game with that free throw. And remember, since she was fouled taking a 3-point shot, she will get the 3rd shot.
And you want to talk about cold-blooded. She gets iced by her coach, Ryan Krakowski. Comes back and knocks down the 2nd. 2 for 2 so far, and looking to knock down the 3rd from that 3-point jumper she was falling on earlier. Oh,
and it rims out.
Unable to reclaim the lead, but boy, what a performance so far by our Hersey Huskies in the second half.
Reclaim, Carter? Did they ever have it?
That's a wonderful point, Ethan. Well, the momentum is definitely in their favor as we see the rebound there. The Husky offense.
Here comes Erin McGrath, trying to put the Huskies on top here as we head towards the 4th quarter. 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd. She can't get it to go.
But she gets the second chance here. Let's see what she does with the ball.
There was a touch on that, so no over and back. Here comes Fahey. Mustangs fans counting down when the clock is not actually at that number.
And she smartly realizes that, looks at the clock, and she's doubled here, but finds McGrath, who finds Collins. And they knock it down.
The 2nd buzzer beater of the game for the Huskies, and this one gives them the lead.
Collins dropping it off to Mason Benjamin. And wow, what a performance so far by the Huskies. Are we seeing some senior night magic here, Ethan?
I think so. They were down and out at halftime, and now just 8 minutes of game time later, they have the lead.
And this could be interesting here. The referees are conferring at center court. I don't believe that they'll reverse the bucket, but definitely some conversations going on there, and I think we're all in the clear.
Yes, the referees have confirmed that the bucket will count. For the Huskies now, they just have to keep playing exactly like they did in the third quarter, and they could get out of here with a W and take over first place in the MSL East.
And we saw earlier on in the season, the Huskies were able to pull out the win against the Mustangs at Rolling Meadows. And they're hoping to get a second straight win against this team and end their recent 2-3 streak.
Carter, and this Meadows team is really a good team this year.
Oh, we're seeing Hersey, we're seeing Meadows, who actually beat the top team in the division right now, Prospect. Those three teams are all vying for the division title and a chance to play in the conference championship. And what a tight matchup this is.
The 5 Meadows players huddled up tight, just outside the three-point line, closest to their bench, trying to figure out exactly what they can do to get back at the Huskies after the Huskies put on a dominating period in which they scored 16 points while only giving up 2.
And we've seen Lily Griefenstein from the Mustangs really putting on a performance so far. For the season, she's averaging 13 a game, but we're also looking at Melissa Spiewak to pull up with a huge performance here, number 4. She's averaging 4 assists per game this season, which is the most for the Rolling Meadows Mustangs.
Here's Rala, over to Griffenstein. Davis, Rala. Outside to Spiewak, who drives in and is fouled. Spiewak will go to the line with the chance to tie the game just 15 seconds in to the fourth quarter.
Fouls on number 35, Katie McGrath for second. At the line for the Mustangs, shooting 2, number 4 was Spiewak.
Not quite able to knock down the first, off the front rim. Let's see if she can rebound here with the second shot.
Spiewak now with the second shot, right through. A 1-point ball game is what we have here in the Ken Carter Gymnasium tonight.
And boy, oh boy, are we in for a treat. I'm thrilled to be a part of this broadcast tonight, Ethan.
The full court press back on. McGrath picks up her dribble, looks for help. Ball's tipped around. Erin McGrath gets it back. I talked with Erin McGrath at halftime about her performance tonight, and she was frustrated, but she's still back out there.
And what a wonderful storyline this is, using that frustration as motivation here as the Huskies are up 2, and they draw the foul on the Mustangs. Let's see who they call this on.
At halftime, the Huskies were a little bit down and out, but now you can definitely see the fight within these girls.
And I mentioned early on, we might see a resurgence from the Huskies. And boy, oh boy, has a resurgence this has been.
Keep in mind, Carter, Hollifield will now come out of the game with 4 fouls.
And this is where foul trouble really starts to play a factor in Coach Ryan Krakowski's decisions. But at the moment, let's see if number... And it's silence in the gym right now. It's number 35, Katie McGrath, lines up for her 2 free throws. Correction, 1-and-1 free throws. She knocks down the first.
The Huskies will be in the bonus the rest of the way out, is the way it looks now.
We're seeing Coach Ryan Krakowski of the Rolling Meadows Mustangs really concentrating and figuring out what his next moves are for this team. Down 4 after being up by 12 at halftime.
That makes it a 2-possession game with just over 7 minutes left in the game.
And this is where high school basketball legacies are made here. Let's see if the Huskies can finish out this game strong.
Spiewak has
a lockdown defensive possession here.
Looking to get past Collins. She can't do it. Almost steps out of bounds and then throws it out of bounds. The Huskies will get the ball.
And tiptoeing the line, she was able to avoid turning the ball over herself, but unfortunately wasn't able to find anyone and threw the ball away.
Full timeout called by the Mustangs.
Coach Ryan Krakowski taking a full timeout. The Mustangs really need to regroup here.
Yes, and let's see if he tries to tell those girls to go back to their original game plan. If you remember from the first half, and even the first quarter specifically, they had lockdown defense, limiting the Huskies to 3 points until the last second resurgence by the Huskies with a minute left to go, pulling the first quarter score to 10-9. But we also saw the Mustangs, not only with their lockdown defense in the first quarter, but also with their inside game. We saw lots of points in the paint here, and we just haven't seen that resurgence of points in the paint since. Lots of threes being thrown up there, and hopefully the shot selection can improve for the Mustangs.
Exactly what I was thinking, Carter. And if you look on the faces of some of the Rolling Meadows parents and fans, they are stunned. They're in a little bit of a shocked state here as the Huskies have come out in the second half and just taken over the ball game.
And right now, those beautiful purple and gold jumpsuits aren't really helping anyone.
The Mustangs take the floor.
In time now for a quick break to check up on scores across the state. Most notably, Lake Zurich with the victory over Warren Township by a score of 45-35. More games are in progress, and we'll update you as soon as we know.
Brand is on the floor for the Mustangs with their main four of Griffinstein, Davis, Ralla, and Spiewak. And for the Huskies, it's Katie McGrath, Erin McGrath, Emily Collins, Mason Benjamin, and Mary-Kate Fahey. And here comes Erin McGrath. Gets it inside to Katie McGrath. Can't get the lay-in to fall. Mason Benjamin gets it back. Erin McGrath. Finding Mason Benjamin. Driving. Laying. And counting a blocking foul.
Well, we saw some great penetration there by number 2, Mason Benjamin. She executed the shot fake beautifully out behind the three-point line. Was able to drive in and chucked up the floater. Was able to get it to fall, and we're seeing an and one here by the Huskies. This could prove very influential to the course of this game.
With a chance to make it a 7-point game, here's Mason Benjamin. And she does it. Perfect from the line.
Nothing but net there, and we're seeing absolutely no nerves by these Huskies. We saw it earlier with MK Fahey going 2 for 3 on those free throws, and we see it again here with Mason Benjamin knocking down the and one.
Two Mustangs players run into each other fighting for the same ball, and when they both grab on and step, that's traveling.
Well, if you're a coach, you got to love the aggressiveness and trying to get the ball, but you know, at some point we have to calm down, and you got to tell your players to relax and simply just play basketball. You can't overthink it.
A complete reversal. Ooh, a good move by Emily Collins.
And she gets it to fall around number 5, Bridget Ralla, a sophomore. Ralla thought definitely that Collins was going out for that shot, but the shot fake was there and was able to get it to fall.
Mason Benjamin will be called for the foul on Ralla as Ralla drove in right at Benjamin. At that point, when you're Benjamin, though, it's better to foul than give up the easy lay-in. It's a 50-50 shot.
Of course, that's one of the storylines of the second half here. The Husky defense letting up 25 points in the first half, but only 2 in the second, as we're 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the fourth quarter. And number 5, Bridget Ralla, the sophomore, redeeming herself after that last poor defensive possession, drawing the foul, knocking down the first. Let's see if she can knock down the second.
That is only their 3rd point of this half, which is unbelievable to me, this offense.
And you got to give credit to the coaching staff of the Huskies there. Coach Mary Fenley and Coach Julia Bartel talking some sense into the Husky players and limiting them now to only 3 points, as you mentioned, in the second half.
And here comes Mary-Kate Fahey.
And the Mustangs fans relentless with the invisible countdown. Collins going up.
An interesting call from the referees there. They call a hold on Katie McGrath. It looked like she was standing straight up and down, though.
Yeah, and you saw the faces of disbelief there from both Emily Collins and Erin McGrath. But the Mustangs offense here now has a chance to redeem themselves and add 2 more points to potentially 5 in the second half. Something on its own is unbelievable from this high-powered Mustangs offense.
And here they come to the Mustangs. Griffinstein, the 3, air ball. That is not ideal there for the Mustangs.
And this Mustangs team had to keep it together for their close win over Prospect earlier this year in December with their 53-44 win. Prospect, Mustang, the Prospect Knights, the Rolling Meadows Mustangs, and the Hersey Huskies all leading the division. This game could prove very influential in the standings.
Claire Rogowski comes in for the Huskies, and Mary-Kate Fahey is not fouled. It's called a carry. A turnover by Mary-Kate Fahey with just over 5 minutes left and an 8-point lead.
It'll be interesting to see what the Mustangs offense comes up with there. See if Coach Korkowski has designed anything in those practices leading up to this to get them out of this hole.
Here comes Ralla driving on Collins, and she's fouled.
And what a matchup we're seeing right here. The junior Emily Collins from Hersey and the sophomore Bridget Ralla from Rolling Meadows going at it back-to-back on at least 3 possessions within the last minute. Ralla lining up for more free throws. She went 1 for 2 just a minute ago.
These girls will definitely lead their own respective teams next year.
And she coolly, calmly, and collectively knocks down the first. Let's see if she can knock down the second.
And she hits both now. She has scored all the points for the Mustangs in this quarter.
And McGrath fighting through some tough defense there along the sideline.
And
penetrating.
Can't get the lay-in to fall. The ball goes off Collins.
And the Mustangs, within the last 2 minutes, have pulled it within 6.
Here comes Davis up the court, picked up by Mary-Kate Fahey. She gets by Fahey and can't get it to fall. It's a good recovery from Fahey. And Katie McGrath will come back in for Claire Rogowski. Griffinstein from the corner, and it's a 3-point ball game.
And this is exactly why she's leading her team in points per game with 13. We're seeing it again, and McGrath tossing it out to Fahey, unable to knock down.
No fouls here from the Huskies as Holyfield dribbles out, finds Ralla. Here she comes, driving through the lane. Griffinstein.
And let's see if there's an offensive foul here. And
Ralla called for the offensive foul.
Do you think inexperience led to that call there as the sophomore? Body control foul?
She was just out of control, barreling towards the lane when she passed the ball out, and she couldn't get away from the Huskies trying to take the charge.
And it's so promising to see such awesome youth out on the court tonight. Junior Emily Collins, one of the storylines of the Huskies, and sophomore Bridget Ralla for the Mustangs.
Up the Huskies cheerleaders doing flips, and here come the Meadows fan section. Well, that was entertaining to say the least.
Yes, entertaining is the right word I'll use as well. Not quite able to finish that backflip off perfectively, but, you know, just if that's even a word, perfectly. But it's time for basketball once again.
Let's get back to the basketball before someone hurts themselves.
Yes, we saw the training working on Emily Collins. Hopefully he doesn't need to work on any Mustangs fans.
McGrath gets the ball in the corner, finding Fahey. The Huskies starting to be able to break this press relatively easily. There's Benjamin now across half court. Back to Fahey. Benjamin now finding McGrath. Fahey, 3. No good off the glass. And here comes Davis driving in 2-on-1. And Ralla can finish, making it a 1-point ball game.
So we saw earlier the need for improved shot selection from the Mustangs. Let's see if the Huskies can take control of their shot selection as well and get a bucket here.
Turnover. Erin McGrath throws it away.
And Coach Mary Fenley encouraging her players. There is plenty of time left in this game for both teams as the score is cut down to just a 1-point lead for the Huskies.
We approach 3 minutes left to go in the ball game, and a steal, Mason Benjamin. Fahey slows it down.
And number 2, Mason Benjamin of the Huskies, coming up with a huge performance on senior night as a senior herself. Let's see if she can help her team.
McGrath gets free, lays it in.
And there's the improved shot selection we were looking for. Number 2, Mason Benjamin, and number 3, Erin McGrath leading this team.
Here's Rala. The lay-in doesn't fall. McGrath looking for help, finds her sister Erin. Trying to get past Spiewak is Erin McGrath. Finding Mason Benjamin, can't get it to go from the elbow. Ball on the floor, jump ball. And Hersey has the arrow here.
Nearly had a chance for second chance points on that offensive rebound. But we're satisfied here, aren't we, Ethan, with the jump ball and the keeping of possession. Let's see what number 2, Mason Benjamin, does with the ball here.
The ball goes off the foot of Rala as Benjamin tried to inbound it to Erin McGrath.
And number 5, Bridget Rala, pleading, absolutely pleading for the call, but wasn't able to get it as the Huskies keep possession.
Ball goes to Fahey, almost intercepted by Davis there, risky pass.
Yeah, maybe the Chicago Bears could use number 3.
Fahey goes down to the ground,
team.
Finds Benjamin. Collins has it now, trying to lay it in, and she gets it to go. A money ball rolling around the rim and down it drops.
Oh my goodness, Emily Collins absolutely tearing it up tonight. On senior night, the junior is coming up huge for these Hersey Huskies.
When the team has needed her the most, she has definitely stepped up tonight, Carter.
Oh, there's no question about that as she lines up for the and one.
Cannot get it to go, but gets her own rebound effort, and she gets it and puts it back in.
That was a beautifully executed, intentional missed free throw, turned into a second chance point, offensive rebound, and another bucket from Emily Collins. This is just intelligent basketball right here, isn't it, Ethan?
Yes, sir, Carter, and Holyfield got her shot blocked there. It goes off of, I believe it was Mason Benjamin, out of bounds.
And the Huskies, with their lead trimmed down to just 1, they increased it again, back up to 7.
Rala thought about the 3. Griffinstein, Davis.
One of the things that the Mustangs can absolutely not do is get another offensive foul. That's been one of the storylines tonight, their lack of body control.
Spiewak, Holyfield gets fouled, going up. A blocking foul called on Hersey's number 3, Erin McGrath.
And I just mentioned the Mustangs needed to keep their foul trouble together. But the Hersey Huskies now have 17 fouls so far compared to the Mustangs' 10. It is pretty much even at this point.
Katie McGrath comes out, Claire Rogowski comes in. That could just be for the sole fact that they need another ball handler on the court.
That, and it could also be a momentum stopper here. We'll see. Coaches like to substitute players in to get a stoppage of play. And
Erin McGrath
a
fouled.
little strategy there by Mary Fenley.
Fouled by Spiewak, and the Huskies are in the double bonus now, I believe. I believe that is the 10th foul now by the Mustangs, which means Erin McGrath will shoot 2 no matter what.
And we see number 35, Katie McGrath, who just checked out, checking back into the game.
She's shooting almost 70% from the line. First one goes down.
Absolutely drains it. These free throws could be what puts this game away for the Hersey Huskies.
The next one just as important as the first. Both of them right through, nothing but net. Perfect from the line for Erin McGrath.
And the perseverance by this Hersey Huskies team here is just unbelievable. We saw them down early in the first half, 25-13.
3 from Rala.
Wow, the sophomore coming up huge. She calmly knocks down the 3 from the corner.
Here comes Collins, finds Mary Kate Fahey. The Huskies now playing the game of time with just over a minute left to go. And the Huskies take their final 30-second timeout. I believe they have one full timeout left.
And it wouldn't surprise me at this point if Coach Ryan Krakowski of the Rolling Meadows Mustangs draws up a full court press here with just 1 minute and 9 seconds to go. He needs all the time he can take right now, and he's probably telling his girls right now to the strategy here on when to start fouling players as well as their full court press plan.
They are still 2 possessions away, barring a foul on the 3-point basket.
And Fenley huddling with their 6 players, preparing the game plan here. It's got to be to hold the ball as long as you can, right? You got to drain out the clock.
Take as much time as you can, I believe, and then try and get an easy basket at the end of it. A layup or something easy. Don't force anything that you don't have to.
And that's the key there, Ethan. You absolutely cannot throw the ball away. You can't chuck up an errant shot. It's got to be the perfect basket, or you might as well just hold on to the ball.
Mary-Kate Fahey gets it. Almost tied up, and now she is tied up, and that's big.
Yes, and a little surprising that Mary-Kate Fahey wasn't able to get rid of the ball. However, she was immensely double-teamed there. What a tough play to make, and you saw the Mustangs defense there coming up huge for this overall story.
What you need to know for the final minute, both teams with 1 timeout remaining, Hersey in the double bonus, Meadows in the single bonus. The possession arrow is in favor of Hersey.
And the Mustangs about to shoot 1-on-1 here on a foul on the ground on number 33, Mary-Kate Fahey.
Team's 8. Meadows in the bonus.
It's Hollifield.
The game for the Huskies, number 21, Claire Rogowski. And at the line for the Mustangs, shooting 1 for the bonus, number 20, Susanna.
And we're seeing strategic substitution here by Coach Fenley.
And she gets the first one to fall, bringing it back to a 1-possession game. And remember, Carter, the Mustangs do shoot the ball from 3 pretty well.
Yes, they do. We saw early on that they were pounding the ball inside for success, but they also have had great successes from downtown as well.
It's now a 2-point ball game as the Huskies get it in to Mary-Kate Fahey. And another jump ball is called.
And the freshman has just allowed 2 jump balls in her last 2 possessions, but there's no doubt that she can come back from this. We saw her earlier calm, cool, and collected, knocking down free throws. No doubt about it, Mary-Kate Fahey will show up at the end of this game.
This is an unbelievably big possession for the Huskies as here comes Erin McGrath across half court. And she's fouled, which means she'll go to the line to shoot 2. She was just perfect a second ago. 47.3 seconds remaining.
Number 3 for Rolling Meadows, Alexa Davis.
I don't know if I've seen a tighter game at all this year, Ethan. This is what a fantastic game this is.
Perfect again. She's 3 for 3 now, and here comes Katie McGrath for Claire Rogowski again. They just keep flip-flopping off the bench.
And Meadows fans still going at it, trying to distract her. But she is just unbelievably focused from the line. Hopefully she can knock down the second again. And
Both
she does.
of them. 4 for 4 in this quarter for Erin McGrath. Those are her only 4 points of the game. Fahey now trying to defend Davis.
Questionable call there, but clearly there must have been some arm-to-arm contact there. Mary-Kate Fahey believing that she got all ball, but there must have been some contact there justifying the call.
This game is too close to call. At this point, it's just going to come down to grit.
Of course it will. I mean, we've seen a lot of heart this game. We saw early on 50-50 goals going mostly to the Rolling Meadows Mustangs way. But we saw early in the third quarter for the Hersey Huskies come back from their 12-point deficit. They needed those 50-50 balls. They needed the heart. They needed the grit. And here we are with the Huskies leading by 3 on senior night with 30 seconds to go. The Mustangs lining up for their second free throw.
And it goes back to a 2-point game. Fahey gets the ball.
And you want to
finds Benjamin.
You want to talk about grit. How about the free throws being made by both teams in this late stages of the game?
Erin McGrath travels. 30 seconds left in the game. Mustangs with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Checking the game for the Huskies, number 35, Erin McGrath.
Less than 30 to go.
Here's Davis driving. Ralla, corner. Spiewak, top of the key. Timeout. Meadows.
Timeout called by the Mustangs.
With 20 seconds left, what do you think, Carter? Do they go for an easy shot here? What do they do? What happens? Do they hold the ball till the end? What goes on?
See, if I'm the coach, I would be pleading with my players to take only the best shot selection you can possibly get out there. Now the Hersey Huskies are going to be lining up with a lockdown defense. They're going to be pressing all over these girls, refusing to let them in the lane. But if I'm Coach Ryan Krikorsky, yes, I'm down 2, but I'm not going to justify shooting up any 3 whatsoever unless it is absolutely wide open. You don't want to risk throwing the ball away with this little time left in such a close game with such an important matchup on the line.
The object here, I believe, for the Mustangs is to score, but also try to score as late as you can and get the bucket so the Huskies don't have the chance to come down the court and take the win.
And that's an important distinction. We saw how cold-blooded this Hersey Huskies team is, and they are able to knock down shots, as we saw twice already in this game, as buzzer beaters. We saw one early on by Emily Collins and the second one to end the third quarter. And if it comes down to it, I would put money on the line that we would be able to knock down a buzzer beater here to end the game.
Here it is. Definitely the biggest possession of the entire game happens right now. Full field to inbound to Davis. Pressured immediately by Benjamin. Here's Ralla. Over to Spiewak. Davis nearing 10 seconds to play. Ralla driving. Full field. Ball's up in the air. And a jump ball is called.
And that is the correct call. The whistle was blown before the shot was called. And we saw the Hersey Huskies had their hand on the ball for quite some time before the whistle blew.
6 seconds remain here as the Mustangs must get a bucket.
And at this point, you can't be worried about shot selection.
Spiewak. Davis, 3, no good. And the time will run out, and the Huskies will retake the lead in the MSL East.
And intelligent basketball, that's the key to this game. You saw that she could have let the ball roll out of bounds, but no, she played it beautifully, saving the ball, letting it bounce in the court, ending the clock. And wow, am I so excited for this Hersey Huskies team on senior night, closing out the win by scraping by with 2 points.
The Huskies devastate the Mustangs again. They did it away at Rolling Meadows, and now they do it at home, just squeaking by with a victory here tonight at the Ken Carter Gymnasium, 46-44.
And major congratulations to the coaching staff of the Huskies. This team was down by 12 at halftime by a score of 25-13, but they were able to come back and win 46-44, going on a stupendous run and only allowing, I believe, less than 5 points in the third quarter.
Any final thoughts or ideas from you tonight, Carter?
Well, as we look around at scores across the league, this game is extremely influential for this Hersey Huskies team, and it could be the deciding factor in how much grit this team shows for the rest of the season and into the postseason as well. Wouldn't surprise me if this team goes on a run if they play like they did tonight, hustling for 50-50 balls and going after every shot. What an impressive performance.
A couple of thank yous tonight. Thank you to all of our camera people. Thank you especially to Kate Highland for coming over from Prospect to help us out tonight. On behalf of Carter Zagorski, I'm Ethan Salm. Have a good night.